Hey folks, today on the Money Saving Guide, I'm going to try and guide you through the fact of broadband. Broadband, there's a lot of choices out there. Now, it depends whereabouts you are in the world. Now, for instance, if you're in America or Sweden, Switzerland, Hong Kong, wherever, I don't know what the situation is going to be like with your broadband options out there. Don't know about the companies, so on. But for instance, as some of you may know, I live in the UK, and there's a lot of broadband companies out there, to be honest with you. What you want to really do is, certainly when it comes to broadband, a lot of these companies that you may see advertised on telly or radio or website pages, all sorts of things, they're the cheapest, they are the cheapest, they want to be the cheapest, they give you all this stuff, and they are still the cheapest. But the thing is, when it comes to broadband, certainly you do want to save yourself money, but most of all you want to save your own sanity, pretty much. What I mean by that is, for instance, a lot of broadband companies can be an absolute nightmare, and I've been with a few different broadband companies in the past, and if it was something where you just want to get technical support, or if you just wanted to ask them a very standard question or upgrading or anything like that, or even trying to leave them, it would be a nightmare. Even if you were only spending maybe £4 a month on broadband, you'd get that quality of a system that is pretty much quite shoddy. But the thing is, you don't want to necessarily just pay too much either, because even the companies that may ask for quite a lot of money, you may necessarily not get that high quality of service. You might get quite a standard little system, and still have troubles with them. Now, I'm going to throw a few names out here when it comes to broadband, and I've been with a few of them. For instance, let's say, first of all, BT. Now, BT has always had a good name for them in the past, especially to say that they're called British Telecoms. They give you reasonably good speeds because effectively they own most of the lines around the UK. So they have full command over everything. You do pay a little bit more for their level of service because the fact is they give you a bit more speed to it compared to some other companies. They certainly give you pretty much quite good standard routers on that side of things, but it depends if you wanted to use that. That's a completely different category anyway. But most of all, what's quite annoying, they've either got to that stage where they are extremely popular. Certainly they're always advertising, offering new deals, new bits and bobs. You get half price for 12 months and blah blah blah. There's loads of stuff going on out there. But the thing is that annoys most of people is phone services. Look into who you're going to be going with for your phone service. For instance, BT, you'd expect to say it's British Telecoms. You'd expect the service to be British. But this is no offense to anyone out there if you're Indian or what other type of religion or whatever colour of skin. It doesn't make a difference. It's not to be offensive to anyone. But the fact is that there's a lot of British people that either are with BT and they don't like the fact that they're phoning other countries. Now, it's quite understandable to say, especially BT, British Telecoms, you'd kind of expect it to be British call centres, but it's not, and you are paying quite a high premium for them. Next company would have to be quite a common one as well. It's TalkTalk, or was known as Tescally in the past. In my opinion, terrible company, absolutely terrible. Certainly they will say we'll give you unlimited downloads and we'll charge you £3 a month. That's all we'll charge you. But if you ever try phoning TalkTalk, they're an absolute nightmare. And especially if you want to try and leave TalkTalk, they will push anything in your path to try and stop you from leaving, or they'll say you've still got something left, you've still got bills, so on, so on. They're an absolute nightmare. They're not one of the best companies out there. And to be honest with you, I've heard it quite a lot, because bear in mind I do work in an electrical retail store. I've seen it a lot of times where customers come in and they say, TalkTalk's been capping my internet. TalkTalk do it extremely a lot. Same goes with Sky, in fact, same with Orange, O2. They do quite a bit of capping as well. If you're either using far too much, they'll just put a limit on it, or even if you're not using enough, they'll even lower you down, so that just pushes you further and further, and you think that your internet's quite normal. So you really want to look into who you're going with. After me being personally through quite a few other companies, I found there's one company that's quite generous in how they do things. They're quite decent. Certainly pay middle price range for it. You're not paying what the level of TalkTalk would be, which is like £3 a month or whatever. You're not paying BT's extortionate prices where you can be nearly £40 a month for all your system. For instance, I'm with this company, and I pay about, I think I'm about £26 a month on average. I get unlimited downloads, which I do need it for what I do. But secondly, the company and how they deal with the call centers is completely different. Now, this company who I'm with is called PlusNet. Now, some of you may have heard of them. In the past, they were quite a popular company, actually. They gave you really good speeds, really good stuff, but then had some sort of lawsuit in the past, and it nearly made them bust. But they've been coming back stronger and stronger again. And when you look at the history of them, actually, of who runs them and what they do and all sorts of things, they first of all give you a British telephone centre. Every time I phone them, which I've only phoned them twice, in fact, they've always been a British service centres because they are based in Yorkshire. But secondly, when you look at who backs them, it's actually BT. So you're paying a lot less of a price, still getting all that British call centres, all the same stuff, but it's just pretty much a different name to it. So you may want to look into who you're going with. Now, certainly it will save you time when it comes to speaking to a British person. It saves you your own patience, your own sanity, compared to not necessarily saving you so much money, but it will help in the long run for the fact of having an easier communication system. Is it worth it? Even for just the British call centres, it can be. Yes, and it's certainly most worthwhile. Always had a good level of service to them, and I always thank them every time I go and speak to them. I say, look, you've got brilliant service, and I'm happy to see this on that side of things. Price, not bad as well. You can get things from them even starting £6 a month, working up the way depending on what level of things you want. Bearing in mind, my £26 is doing quite a large amount of stuff on that side of things. Certainly, to be more as a money saver on this side of things, if you are looking into a broadband company, certainly have a look out there, see what there is available depending on where you are. Check out where your current exchange is, because the fact is, if you're miles away from your current exchange, you want to try and get the best speeds as possible. Try phoning some companies up. They may tell you exactly where your current exchange is, and don't be fooled by the fact of your landlines. A lot of people say the fact is you're still going to pay rental to BT. It's absolutely right. You always do pay line rental to BT, even though the fact is some companies will say you don't pay line rental to them, you pay line rental to themselves. Say one is TalkTalk, they do this quite a bit. They'll say you pay it to us, but it's actually still going to BT. It's nothing to do with TalkTalk on that side of things. But anyway, back to where I was about the money saving guides. If you do want to, say for instance, join PlusNet, what you can do is I will put my username in the description down below, and what you can do is if you do sign up either over the internet or if you sign up over phone, you can give them my username, and certainly it will save you a little bit of money off your actual bill because I'm referring you as a customer. Certainly, if you do that, what you'll get as an advantage is certainly you'll get some money off your bill. Depends on which bill you choose. I think you get anything between 50p to £1, can be a bit more, depending on really what package you deal with. But certainly, I hope this guide has helped you. As I said, it's not necessarily about being money saving. It's more about being your own sanity saving on that side of things. But I hope it does help you, and I hope it really guides you in the right direction. Don't be fooled by a lot of broadband companies. Just for instance, say if you're with Sky, you don't necessarily have to go with Sky's broadband, because to be honest with you, some companies are absolutely terrible at broadbands, so you want to try and stay away from them. So certainly, if you have any questions or any comments, or if you want to talk about any other broadband companies, certainly you can leave a question down below. You can either catch me up on Twitter, or certainly you can PM me on YouTube, and I will try and answer you as soon as I possibly can. So in the meantime, goodbye.